Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all doing today on this Monday afternoon? I know some of you, my constant subscribers and my constant viewers have noticed that I haven't actually done a ranty video in a few days. That's down to a number of things. Just not had the power or the influence over my words as much as I usually would. We're gonna try and do my best today. I'm not really feeling, peace and love today. But if you notice that the world around us is going to shit as much as I do, you will find it difficult to find good things to balance out the bad. So we'll start on the first thing that's come across my thing. As some of you have noticed, the Israelis have now passed legislation which allows them to steal even more land from the Palestinians. I know it's not a new thing. I know the people that have been watching it for the last couple of weeks, months and years have noticed that this isn't a new thing. They've been grabbing land, houses, businesses and that for years, so you're most probably sitting there thinking, well, you're not really telling me anything new. It's the way that they word things, to be honest. Illegal, legal, right and wrong. I'm a firm believer in a two-state solution in Palestine. Any idiot can see that it is possible. You take away all the bullshit and it is possible. We could have a two-state solution in Palestine. But slowly but surely the Israelis, I'm not going to blame Netanyahu, because it'd be like blaming Hitler for the extermination of the Jews, the Gypsies, the blacks, the unwanted. He may have ordered it, but he isn't the one carrying it out. I was watching a video yesterday on RT with a bloke called the General's Son. This guy's father was, I take it, a general in the IDF, and the guy who has been interviewed had served himself, and he called them a high-powered, high-functioning terrorist organisation. And it is, as I've said on numerous occasions, to the people out there that throw this line out, this terrorist or terrorism, please look it up. Because it's not just the Israelis that do it. It's the Americans that do it, the British that do it. Anyone that wishes to push their political or ideology forward with violence is a terrorist. It's a terrorist organisation. So that would come under the West Baptist Church. I don't think they've ever used violence. I've never seen them use violence. I've seen them, use verbal violence, I suppose, verbal insults and that, and their placards and that. The Black Panthers, the Ku Klux Klan, the Aryan Brotherhood, MS-13. Do you know what I'm saying? There's loads of them. There's loads of them out there, but you don't see them. But it did make me think that, usually I'd give you the line of, we can stop these people, we can stop the IDF. But we can't, really. To be perfectly honest, and that's not defeatism in any way, but they're supplied with millions and millions of pounds, dollars, euros, buck, whatever you want to use as currency, to fund them. The Americans, which I believe are the main backers, or could be one of the main backers of Netanyahu and his Israeli state, fund them. In the recent weeks, we've seen them sell or give. It says sell, but we can't be 100% sure. Fighter planes to the Israelis. They just took delivery of them not so long ago, in the last couple of weeks. Everybody out there, because I've heard it quite a lot recently. All these people. Where were you when Barack Obama was doing his thing? His imperialistic view upon the world. In the same place as I am now, protesting, speaking out, making people aware. Donald Trump is just in a long line of puppets. But in this interview, this guy goes, with the Obama, administration, there was a little bit of like cloak and dagger shit. Do you know what I'm saying? On the one hand, yes, they were doing all the bad things that we were saying, but they were never, you could never prove it, if you know what I mean. You could never openly see it. But Donald Trump just doesn't give a shit. The mask of, humanitarianism has been removed. He doesn't care. In any report that you can look at, Donald Trump is right up the arse of Netanyahu and this one state of Israel. The extermination of a peoples is not new. Is not a new concept to the human race. The Europeans to the Native Americans, the Spanish to the Aztecs. Extermination of a mass amount of people is nothing new and shouldn't shock anybody when it happens. But to have the stones to stand there and say that, it's wrong, that it may not be illegal, because, the extermination of the Jews and the blacks and the gypsies during the Nazi occupation was legal because they changed the status of it, like the Israelis have done. They've made it, deemed okay in paper form because, that they control everything. If you looked at any footage of the Palestinian and the Israeli crisis, you'll see that, that I've never seen, as many, Palestinian-backed soldiers or fighters as I have done Israelis. That could be just the narrative or the narrow view that I've looked, opportunity to show me something different to contradict what I'm saying. I'm open to that. With Donald Trump, because I said about Donald Trump in the last one, we're now saying that Donald Trump's coming here to the UK has been pushed back to stop him being harassed. I don't think it's a good idea that you push it back. I don't think it's a good idea that you cancel it. I think it's a good idea that we need to, out the racists, the negative people in our societies. People do it to me all the time. They tell me that, my views are against what everybody else believes, what the masses believe, so it must be wrong. But for so long I've believed the same as you believed. Do you know what I'm saying? If you can't change it, don't do nothing about it. Don't say nothing. Don't make yourself a target. But at the end of the day, it's not going anywhere. From the Daytona Pipeline, I think I always get that wrong when I say it. If I do, please let me know if I'm saying it wrong. To, this court battle for the ban, and I'd like to say a little bit on that ban. Everybody saying that it's not a ban. Please listen to any of what Donald Trump's thing. He says ban. He may then add next to it that it's a vetting process and all this shit, but you have to call it what they call it. You have to fight their negativity with negativity or positivity of your own. I don't try and bring negative media or interest towards Donald Trump or Netanyahu or the pipeline or anything else. They do it for themselves. You know, I don't need to do anything. I don't need to sit here and be talking to you and to be spreading my concerns and my worries about the world that's going on around us, because you will see it. From the homeless crisis that we have in this country, to people going, well, you know, we need to house, you know, our homeless in this country before we house, you know, illegal humans. I really think that's a disgusting way to speak about another human being, to be perfectly honest, my opinion. But it's not us, you know, me, you, the taxpayers, that choose, you know, who gets housed and who doesn't. You know, it should, you know, in the so-called democracy that we live in, you know, our power, our words, our spirit should be, you know, taken into consideration. But we know that doesn't happen. You know, we have things like petitions, you know, to get our governments, get our elected officials to listen to us. How many of them actually work? You know, how many of them actually get the desired effect, or one step closer to the desired effect? I'm not saying I've lost faith in it, because, you know, you can only destroy a corrupt system from the inside, because they've spent long enough building it. They've weeded out all the niggly bits. To Theresa May, with her anybody that leaks information, you know, journalists that leak information, you know, what's that all about? You know, I wanted, and I'd still want to say, it's 1984. You know, George Orwell's miserable existence, which he pictured out to us in that book, is coming true, slowly but surely. I know people don't want to admit it. I know people want to, you know, carry on going out and buying their Valentine's presents and that, because obviously it's since Valentine's Day tomorrow. But at some point we have to take responsibility for our own country. You know, there are so many people out there that don't have a clue, and I don't mean that to be nasty, but say things and have no idea of their effects. You know, as much as, you know, I hate the N word and the C word, they are just words. No, power is only given to them when you fear them. That's a quote from somewhere, I believe. I think that's how it got into my brain. But actions will always be louder. Actions will always be a damn sight better. On the 20th of this month, in Inverness, which is my closest big town, there will be a support the migrants anti-Trump protest, as many of you have seen in Edinburgh and that. I'm going. I will be going to get people's opinions, to be getting a few interviews, to be getting, you know, to hear from the people that are there, why they are there, what made them get up and stand up, what made them voice their opinions. Don't get me wrong, I believe we're going to get a lot of people there that are for Trump, and to be perfectly honest, I think they should have the right amount of emphasis and time to speak their opinion as well. Because it can't all be one-sided, you know. As much as Donald Trump is, in my opinion, that's my opinion, an evil Cheeto, doesn't make him bad, doesn't make him evil. What he does and his actions and what he says does, but he's not evil, he's just the same as us. He lives under the same sun, breathes the same air, and has to drink the same water. So I don't really give a shit about the policy sides of things with him, because as much as I keep referring back to Adolf Hitler, you know, he didn't go out and shoot Jews and shoot gypsies. He had to get people to do it for him. It's the following that he had that did it. The following that I have, I know it sounds a little bit big-headed with only 379 subscribers or something like that on YouTube.
There's obviously a reason why you keep coming back and listening to my videos. There must be a reason why you like or dislike or comment to my videos. There must be a reason why what I say resonates with you. I'm going to end this video on a bit of a kooky phase. This is something that I looked into myself, and I know there's only 2 viewers at the moment, so that will most probably go down to 0 in a second. But I was looking into Rendlesham Forest incident and Roswell and the crash landing in Brazil the other day. The aliens, before anybody sits there and goes, what's going on? And the Ashtar Alliance back in an interruption on a TV broadcast in 1970 something. And it always comes back to the same thing with me. We observe our own species as we observe it. We see them for what they are, the good, the bad, the evil. But how would we feel if we were the ones being exterminated? If we were the ones being hunted? We were the ones that were being maimed. I believe Alicia Keys kind of summed it up for me with a video that I see the other day, where she recreated, or semi-recreated, what would happen if America was to suffer what was going on in Israel with the Palestinians being bombed, being shot at, the Syrians, any war-torn part of this planet, how it would feel for us, how it would look for us. Because as much as we walk around on this free, lovely, beautiful earth, the effects of others do actually influence us. The reason I brought up aliens is because unfortunately they're not here, or not as I know they're here. But how would they judge us? We judge our own race, and don't get me wrong, I think we all have the entitlement to do so. Say that the human race is disgusting of how quick it turns on each other. But we have good things. We have me. I know most people are going to go, oh, he's getting big-headed again, but there's me. But all I want is for the human race to understand that you breathe the same air, you live under the same sun, you have to drink the same water. So what is with the fighting? Religion is just a sub-bit. Do you know what I'm saying? Nobody needs to believe the same thing or follow the same gods or deities, but at the end of the day, it should strip back that shit to the fact that we are all human. In our own minds, we all want the right to live and be free, and our children to prosper. But yet we can commit these atrocities. Yeah, some of it's based on politics, some of it's based on hate and divide and everything else. But at the end of the day, when it's all done and dusted, it'll be us that suffers. And the planet. I feel the pain of the world. I find it difficult to watch videos on Muslim grooming gangs and hear all the hatred that comes from it. But white people can commit mass rape, are in gangs. Politicians are in that game as well. And yet we pick on the Muslims. But the whole terrorist attack things or attacks, we're so prone now to jump to Muslims are doing it. And we seem to forget all the rest, like the Waco bombing and that white boy that walked in and killed all them black people in the church. We're quite easily now to have the narrative of blaming Muslims when it's a human thing. It's not a religion thing, it's a human thing. I don't follow a traditional, religion. I follow my own kind of bearings of things, with things from the Rastafarian way of thinking, peace and love and prosperity. The Christian thing of, love thy neighbour, treat others how they want you would want to be treated. I live my life by my own moral compass. I don't allow, politics and that to influence how, I live my life. An impediment upon yourself should be, sorted. Do you know what I'm saying? Another person does not have the right to grab you, but then they also don't have the right to shout at you and to make you feel belittle you, sorry. But then you don't have that right either. Now, my opinions may offend some people and may bring, the respect back for humanity, in whichever way you take it. But I can only be me and say the things that upset me. It makes me cry to watch Native Americans being sprayed with water in freezing conditions and be shot at with, rubber bullets and concussion grenades. It's horrible to watch mothers and children cry when their loved ones are taken from them, in whichever way it is, whether it's, in Israel, whether it's, in Somalia, Libya, Afghanistan, Syria. Because at the end of the day, it makes me think, how can I stand by and allow this to happen without saying something when one day it could happen here? We could be on the receiving end of all these policies. There was an Australian comedian I see the other day. I hope some of you else have seen it, with Piers Morgan and that. And obviously Piers Morgan, has now won the Apprentice thing and, it seems to be best buddies with Donald Trump. But the comedian did sum it up right, Adolf Hitler didn't kill the Jews in one day. He worked up to it. Netanyahu didn't start stealing land day one. He built up to it. The pipeline, which was, in Obama's administration as well as in Trump's administration, there's no way that that pipeline was done so quickly in just Trump. But yet everybody's there to blame Trump for it. Yeah, he's making money off of it. But that's all it's about. It's about profits over people. It's oil over water. But when it comes down to it, it should be life and love and peace and unity. The day humanity comes together as one, we could destroy anything. These systems that have been put in place to steal our rights and make us feel inferior and make us turn on each other, only we have the power to change that. Afternoon, Kyle. How you doing, my brother? Thank you very much for commenting. I'll give you a little like there. There we go. But we have the power. So, my lesson for today, or my rant for today is, remember, we are all the same. No matter what religion, whatever colour skin we have, wherever we live on this planet, we're all the same. And we need to start respecting each other and start respecting people's opinions. Yes, I don't agree in death for the death. ISIS, which I believe is a CIA, Taliban kind of game plan. I think they're just a dog and pony show, to be honest. But that's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I could comment on what I see. I'm going to wrap the video up here. Yeah, I don't know how long the video's been going on for. I think you guys have been bored to tears listening to me. But I hope you do take the time to come and check me out on YouTube. Not only will you be, giving me likes, comments and that, you'll be helping me, get to these events. Hear people's opinions. Practice what I preach. Now, I think that's the thing of today. I want to hear what people have to think. I'd like to sit down and listen to these so-called radical Islamic terrorists or whatever they're called, and hear what the difference is. Because at the end of the day, I believe that we all want the same thing. They're fighting, or supposedly fighting for what we want. Freedom for our children, for ourselves, for the right to live and prosper. But because we're not seeing it from their eyes, and we can only see it through our eyes, we see them as evil, as much as they would see us as evil. So like I say, please check me out on YouTube at Gary Son of David. There's many other videos on there. There's quite a few cannabis ones on there. And I hope you have a lovely day. And as usual, guys, peace and love.